Okay, so let's have a look at the third part of this question. So it says post all totals and balances from the analyzed cash book of food to go limited to the relevant ledger below. So we're looking for all the totals and all the balances. So if you look back here at your ledger, you'll have all your totals. You have your totals for sales, your totals for VAT, totals for capital, totals for purchases, totals for VAT, totals for wages, and totals for electricity. So each one of these totals and the balance, so it's going to be this balance figure, are going to be transferred to the ledgers. So the main rule of thumb in this is if it's on the debit side in the analyzed cash book, it goes on the credit side in the T accounts. And if it's on the credit side in the analyzed cash book, it goes on the debit side in the T account. Okay, so let's have a look and see what that actually means. So the first one we have is sales. So you're going to go to the ledger. The account is going to be called sales. So our sales in the analyzed cash book, our total amount is on the debit side. So if it's on the debit side in the analyzed cash book, it goes on the credit side in the T account. So this 12,000 is going to go to your total of 12,000. Your date is going to be the end of the month. So it's going to be the 31st of the 5th, 19. And where is it coming from? It's coming from our analyzed cash book. And that's all what we do for the first one. So then we go to the next one, and it's VAT. So VAT is on the debit side. So if it's on the debit side in the analyzed cash book, it goes to the credit side in the T account. So we go to our ledgers. It's going to be VAT. So it's 1,620 on the debit side. So it becomes 1,620 on the credit side. That's your double entry. Debit side in one account, credit side in the other. The date, end of the month, all the time. Where is it coming from? It's coming from our analyzed cash book. And that's that entry done. Then you go back to your ledger again, and you've got capital. So it's on the debit side in the capital account. We have to have a debit and a credit. So it's on the debit side of the analyzed cash book, goes on the credit side in the ledger. So the ledger is going to be called capital. It's going on the credit side. It's going to be 21,500. It's in here, 21,500. The date is 31st of the 5th, so it's always the end of the month. Where is it coming from? It's coming from the analyzed cash book. The next item then, so that's all our debits in. Now we on the credit. So it's on the credit side of the analyzed cash book, goes on the debit side in our T account. First one we have is purchases. So you go to our ledger. The name of the account is purchases. Okay. So it's on the credit side. So it goes on the debit side. It's going to be for 5,600. So debit side, 5,600. What's the date? End of the month all the time. So 31st of the 5th, 19. Where is it coming from? Details, analyzed cash book. Then we look at the next one. So VAT. So it's on the credit side. So in the analyzed cash book, so it goes on the debit side in the ledger accounts. And we have a VAT account opened up already up here, and it's going to go on the debit side. And the amount is for 7,560. 7,560. What's the date? It's going to be the 31st of the 5th, 19. Where's it coming from? Analyzed cash book. So we know here that the debits and credits aren't equal, so we're going to balance these up later on when we've all the totals put in. So the analyzed cash book again, wages 5,850. It's on the credit side, so it goes on the debit side in the ledgers. So wages, it's going to go on the debit side, and the total is 5,850. 5,850. Date, end of the month all the time, 31st of the 5th, 19. Details, where is it coming from? It's coming from the analyzed cash book. And the last one, then you've got electricity. So it's on the credit side. So that needs to go on the debit side in your ledger accounts. So it's going to go on the debit side. And it's 670. So that's all our entries added in. And the last thing we do then is just we have to balance them off. So in our sales, we know debits and credits have to be equal. So they're not equal. So we need to put 12,000 on the debit side to make it equal. The date then when we balance them off is always going to be at the end of the month. So 31st of the 5th, 19. It's going to be your balance. And if you want to, it's the balance that's going to be carried down. It's going to be carried down to the next month, 1st to the 6th, 19, balance, brought down. And that's going to be your 12,000. VAT then, so VAT's a little bit different. So we're going to skip a line. We're going to put in our line and our double line to say that it's been closed off. So we've got 1,620 on the credit side, 756 on the debit side. This side is higher. So we have to add a figure here that when it's added to the 756 will give us 1,620. So in here, it's going to be 1,620, take away 756, and the balance figure is going to be 864. And if we add those two together, we should get 1,620, and we do. So this is our balance figure. That's the balance figure. It's going to be carried down at the end of the month. And it's going to be brought down then to the next one. So the 1st of the 6th, 19, balance, brought down. And it's going to be 8,640. So we're going to balance off this account here again. So we need to put 21,500 on the debit side. The date is going to be the 31st to the 5th. Your balance, the figure is going to be carried down. Going to be carried down to the next month. So the 1st of the 6th, your balance brought down, and it's going to be 21,500. This time the balance figure goes on the credit side. How much goes on the credit side? 5,600. What date's going to be on it? The 31st to the 5th, 19. It's always the last date. What's the details? This is our balance figure. It's going to be carried down. Where's it going to be carried down to? It's going to be carried down to the next month. So it's going to be the 1st of the 6th, 19, balance brought down. And how much has been brought down? 5,600. Your wages then the same as well. So your balance of 5,850 goes on the credit side. What date's on it? 31st to the 5th, 19. What's the details? This is your balance figure that's going to be carried down. It's going to be carried down to the next one. So make sure you put in the line and the double line to show the account's being closed off. Brought down to the next month. The 1st to the 6th, 19. What is it? It's the balance that's being brought down. And it's going to be for 5,850. And the last one then, we didn't put in the dates in here. Sorry, 31st to the 5th, 19. Where does it come from? Analyze cash book. So the balance goes on the credit side, 670. The 31st of the 5th is when we balance off the account. The end of the month all the time. And the details, just the balance that's going to be carried down. We put in our line and our double line to show the account's being closed off. And we bring it down to the next month. So the 1st to the 6th, 19. What is it? It's the balance figure that's been brought down, and it's going to be 670. So that's bringing the figures across to the ledger account. So post all totals from the analyzed cash book to the ledger account, and then we balance them off. Okay, that's that part done.